Hello, my name is Anneliese Garber. I would like to welcome you to this evening episode of 61 Minutes. Tonight we'll be discussing the effect that diseases have or still have on the Australian society. The first one being the fatal Hendra disease. The stable in which the disease was first detected is a stable of Rick Vale, although he also obtained this disease through the horse. But today his daughter is here to talk to us. Miss Vale, can you please explain the devastating impact on the disease on Australia's livestock?
So since the death of my horses in 1994, more than 60 horses have been known to be infected. The symptoms was respiratory and neurological symptoms, such as raised fevers, bloodshot eyes, and frothing from the mouth. It was so festy. These horses have all died or been euthanized and ill.
Okay, thank you, Miss Vale. On the note of prevention, we will now turn to Professor Reid, a biologist who will discuss the changing prevention methods.
Hi, I'm Professor Reid. The Hendra virus has only ever been obtained within Australia, so when it was transmitted, scientists were unsure of how to prevent it. When we figured out that the disease was transmitted through flying foxes, simple methods were put in place. Removing horses from paddocks where fruiting or flowering trees have recently attracted flying foxes, or not to place food or water underneath trees. Every paddock must have a PPE kit, which contains basic sterilisation and hygiene material. A vaccine in November 2012 was created. This vaccination stimulates the production of protective antibodies. If the horse is exposed to the virus, the antibodies will bind the viral particles, preventing them from establishing active infections in the horse. This is currently the most effective prevention method. Then, if any horse does still get Hendra, the state will then ensure further precautions. For example, in Queensland, the public health staff will seek to identify all the people and horses who may have been exposed to the disease. They will also advise ongoing treatment.
Thank you, Professor Reid. The second disease we'll be exploring is black root rot. This disease was first detected in Australia in the 1980s and has had a significant impact on Australia's agriculture. Since its initial detection, the disease has rapidly spread, and now all cotton farms in New South Wales have the disease, as well as some in Queensland. Since the 1980s, there has been a 22% increase into 1995, a 60% increase in 2000-2001, and a 95% increase in 2004. Black root rot is a fungal pathogen that affects cotton seeds upon germination, resulting in the decay of root systems. The fungus does not kill the plant, but actually leads to a substantial loss in yield, while simultaneously creating the plant more vulnerable to other pathogens. The disease spreads so easily because the spores are very persistent under diverse environmental conditions, and the pathogen can survive in the soil for years. Thus, it is extremely difficult to eradicate. Professor Marshall is here today to discuss the different methods in the attempt to eradicate this disease.
Thank you, Anneliese. I'm Professor Marshall. Due to the severity of the disease, many methods have been developed. Firstly, we will look closely at a brine seed treatment. This involves spraying young crops with this chemical to induce a host resistance against black root rot. However, this method has led to mixed results in Australia, but a 33% suppression rate has been observed. This treatment is currently recommended for use in combination with other treatments.
There have also been great developments and changes in the prevention of the disease. There are many strategy methods, such as preparing seedbeds, although we are now going to closely look at two methods. First one is crop rotation method, as shown in this graph. A farmer used crop rotation method with wheat as it cannot be affected by the pathogen. The rotation was done over 4 years and has demonstrated that there was no change in the last 2 years, which highlights the effectiveness of the crop rotation method Another treatment method used is biofumigation. This involves growing crops that release substances which are poisonous to the pathogen. Thank you and good night.